My name is Terry Fox and I running Artworks Designs. So here we build Countach and other replicas, mostly from scratch and from brand new. So new body shells, new chassis. We don't try and restore old cars to a degree, it's too much work. And the body shells now are in better polyester glass fibre. So yeah, but it's quite a new adventure for us really. Even though I've built quite a few classic cars and replicas, I've decided to go full time. As part retirement, part passion, part job. So decided that after working in London for like 12, 14 years, it was time to do something different and not commute. But now I commute in a Countach, so it's much nicer. The funniest bit's when you come up behind somebody and they put the indicators on, they pull over. It's like, you don't need to pull over, just keep going, get out of the way, you know. They think who's come behind you, they've got to pull onto the side of the road and dig the gravel up. That's quite funny. But so it's, especially at night when people see it, when they see it coming behind them, it's they just stop dead. It's quite scary sometimes. You see the brake lights come on, because you know, the lights come up and there's 4 lights and the spotlight's on. I think the aliens have landed. That's why I'm not doing the alien in the passenger seat. Poke them out the window sometimes just to say hello to people, especially at night. That's quite funny. But yeah, it's got an alien passenger. If you've seen, sits in the passenger seat all the time to keep me company, because the partner won't sit in the car. So that's sad. She'll do photo shoots with it, but she won't sit in the car. Isn't that, you know, a bit crazy, isn't it? But there we have it. Some people try to race you, but there's no point trying to race it really. They think about it, then they back off. And when they hear the sort, most of the traffic lights, then when I pull away and they hear the noise, they just back off or turn right. So they don't have to race it. But yeah, it's funny. Yeah, the Rockingham, went to the supercar Rockingham Day, 100 supercars. I was invited there, even though it was a replica. And I was the only replica that was invited, because they said it looked good enough to be there. So I parked next to McLaren in the VIP bit, and Porsche McLaren and a Lotus Evora that had done the Gumball. And the Porsche was quite famous, I think that was on the film Gumball, so he was there next to it. And not one person stood next to the Porsche, the McLaren or the Lotus. They all stood around the replica Countach. So it's quite funny, that was quite hilarious, that they spent all this money on cars. I mean, £30,000 on a roof scoop for McLaren. I don't think my car cost that to build. Let alone he couldn't catch me down the straight, hardly. He really struggled. And by the time he got the speed up, I'd already turned into the next corner and gone. So, but people accepted it as a, you know, I thought I was going to have aggravation, like you say, you know, oh, it's a replica, all this sort of thing. Not one person came to me and said, oh, it's just a replica. Not one. And in fact, on YouTube, you can see the videos, right? They all say, wow, that Countach replica sounds awesome. Oh, that Countach replica looks brilliant. Yeah. So it's all on YouTube, and it's quite good, good feedback on there from people I've never even met, so it's not biased, which is quite nice. So they gave us the Gumball shirts as well for going, so that was quite nice. And the guy from Gumball sat in it, he was about 6'7", so we had a mission to get him in it. We had an even funnier mission to get him out of it, because he had to crawl out on his hands and knees, so it's hilarious. That was a funny bit. But he can get in it, but he couldn't get out of it. So. And he couldn't press any pedals, he pressed all 3 pedals with 1 foot. So I've got very small feet, so that's built like a go-kart. It really is small inside that one. The new ones have obviously got a lot more room, because I've built them for bigger people. New Prova guy's 6'5", Sienna guy's 6'3", 6'2". So they've all got bigger feet than me, so I've had to really rethink the design of these. So that's one of the complicated bits. You couldn't get in that and drive it. Even bigger feet than size 8, you wouldn't be able to drive my red one. You sit in it, it's comfy, but you sit like in a go-kart. So it's quite funny when people get in it and they say, how'd you drive it? So I said, well, drive's all right. I'll jump in it like I did when there, jump in it, get in, no problem. So it's built for little Italian people, with little legs, long arms. And that's what they were built for. So, you know, you can't argue, it's not the car's fault.